Hello and welcome to gusmcdollgames. I'm Nick McDowell and today we're continuing the Allied Grand Campaign in Close Combat A Bridge Too Far, a game based on the Battle of Arnhem, Operation Marketgarden. In this series we use the missions in the Allied Grand Campaign to illustrate one or more aspects of World War II infantry minor tactics at the company level and below. Each episode we conduct basic mission analysis, develop and select a course of action, then execute the plan in real time. Then we identify lessons learned from the battle, sustain, improve, and fix. In this episode, we are in the Eindhoven sector, the Schijndel tactical area of responsibility. Our objective is Schijndel Road. This is your source of supply for the troops in the Eindhoven sector until you have been relieved by 30 Corps. It is also a vital road link to the other airborne forces ahead. You should be able to secure Schijndel in the first day so that you are ready for 30 Corps when they arrive after passing through Zon. This first area is the key to keeping the road open. Clear it and hold it so that 30 Corps can advance quickly to Arnhem. This could be the place where the enemy will launch a strong attack. Recon teams can be very effective in this terrain. Let's examine our forces. Airborne BAR teams are the core of the American Airborne Divisions. They use an automatic rifle, semi-automatic rifles, and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a carbine. Use them on the front line, but they should run or hide from tanks. Airborne rifle teams use semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. The team leader is armed with a carbine. Use them on the front lines and to hold victory locations. They are useless against tanks. Airborne 60mm light mortar teams also contain semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. Because mortars can shoot over obstacles, position these teams behind buildings or trees. Use them to lay smoke screens. Airborne 30 caliber light machine gun teams include semi-automatic rifles and hand grenades. Position these teams in multi-story buildings or locations with long lines of sight so they can suppress enemy infantry. Airborne recon teams are the eyes and ears of the American Airborne Divisions. They are armed with submachine guns and grenades. Use these teams to scout enemy positions and to perform behind-the-lines operations. Next, let's look at the map and do some mission analysis. I will develop a plan and then execute it in the game. Our mission is to clear and hold Schijndel Road in order to enable 30 Corps to advance quickly to Arnhem. We have an understrength American Airborne Company from the 101st Airborne Division, consisting of 5 squads of airborne infantry, a recon squad with a single 60mm mortar and one 30 caliber machine gun in support. I have marked 5 areas of interest. Number 1, the hedges and fields north of the road. These make dangerous fire lanes for us if the enemy holds the western edges of the fields. Number 2, the crossroads, as controlling this location restricts lateral movement and controls movement along the road. Number 3, the fields south of the road, with trees and closely packed hedges making for close-range engagements and a good avenue of approach to the buildings. Number 4, the first building on the outskirts of the town, and a possible enemy security outpost. And number 5, a likely main defensive position consisting of buildings either side of the road. I assess the enemy is likely to put a squad in an early warning position at the crossroads. The building on the outskirts of town would make a good platoon security outpost with a withdrawal route into the main company defensive position in the town. But I can't exclude the possibility that the enemy has patrols or even substantive defensive positions in the complex terrain north and south of the road. Broken terrain limits the defender's field of observation and flat trajectory fire, and offers cover by which attacking foot infantry may approach a hostile position. My first possible course of action is to conduct a frontal assault on the crossroads, dislocating that position from reinforcement using a mortar immediate smoke mission to blind the platoon defensive position to the west. Then I will assault the platoon position. While I am consolidating on this position, the mortar will shift to an HE mission to suppress enemies in the buildings along the road. I will then assault that position and clear the road. The key risk with this plan is that I'm vulnerable to attack in the flanks by forces in the complex terrain north or south of the road. It would be all too easy for my troops to get pinned down by frontal and flanking fire. And the same enemies could use this terrain to ambush 30 Corps, thus defeating our mission objective. My second possible course of action is a big right hook north of the road and along the creek line. I would screen my movement with a mortar immediate smoke mission and then use HE to neutralise the enemy in the main position while assaulting. This is a pretty good plan, and would surprise and dislocate the enemy by attacking from an unexpected direction. But I am vulnerable to flanking attacks from the hedges north of the road while moving to the forming up position, and even once I secure the buildings, I would still have a lot of fighting to do to clear the road as required by the mission. Also, I'm not making much use of my machine gun with this plan. My third course of action is to use my recon team to scout the crossroads and establish an attack by fire position using the machine gun looking down the road or even from the crossroads. Meanwhile, my main body will leave the line of departure and clear possible enemy forces from the complex terrain south of the road, taking advantage of the concealment offered by the trees and hedges to close on the platoon position. I will use mortar immediate smoke to blind that position while I move in under cover of machine gun fire, then assault that position with my main effort of all 5 squads. The mortar will then shift to immediate neutralisation of the company defensive position, which I will assault when ready. In this way, I will have cleared enemy from the south of the road, the crossroads, and along the Schijndel Road, which better achieves the intent of the mission and allows 30 Corps use of the road. We have 30 minutes to achieve our objectives. I will now move my troops into position and execute the plan in real time. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the various courses of action and if you've identified a viable alternative. If you want to speed things up, just skip ahead every few seconds and see the battle unfold. And don't forget to subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And so we begin. Our recon team starts moving towards the crossroads. Our main force crosses the line of departure and immediately makes contact. Furious close quarters battle ensues, with grenades thrown and casualties on both sides.
Under heavy fire! Team redeployed. Team redeployed. Team redeployed.
Incoming!
Team redeployed.
Hol mich hier raus! Hol mich hier raus! Hol mich hier raus! Das Blut! Erobert! Get me out! Medic!
Meanwhile, the recon team has reached the barn and secured the crossroads.
Fire!
It ambushes and destroys an MG42 team, and it is time for our light machine gun squad to move up and join them.
Under heavy fire!
Area secured. Charge! Keep down! Charge!
We're under heavy fire! Target neutralized.
Eventually, our weight of fire suppresses the enemy, consisting of at least one Schützen squad and an MG42. At last, our main force has broken the enemy front line, but at heavy cost in a brutal close quarters battle. It is time to exploit our success by advancing under cover. Next, we locate a Panzerschreck squad in the suspected platoon security outpost, which opens fire on our scouts. We call in an immediate neutralization mission with our mortar,
Team redeployed.
return fire, and move our machine gun into position at the barn.
Team redeployed.
On your feet, soldier!
Team redeployed. Team redeployed. Team redeployed.
By controlling the crossroads, the scouts and machine gun can prevent the enemy moving along the Schijndel Road or moving reinforcements from the hedges on the right side of the road.
Team redeploy. Team redeploy.
On your feet, soldier! Team redeploy.
Our machine gun in the attack by
Team
fire
redeploy.
position starts suppressing the Panzerschreck and a Schutzen squad in the suspected platoon position, while mortar HE continues to fall.
Team redeploy. Team redeploy. Team redeploy.
Meanwhile, our main body continues to advance slowly towards their first objective. I'm in no rush and want to clear this terrain cautiously and thoroughly so I'm not ambushed en route. I do not want a repeat of that first bloody fight in the hedgerows. Next, my main body starts laying suppressing fire on the initial objective to win the firefight before advancing. Enemy fire has lessened, so it is time to send the recon scouts forward. Our machine gun team has run out of ammunition. Our mortar team also runs out of HE and switches to a mortar smoke mission to blind the enemy position. We are almost ready to commence this next phase of the assault.
We're under heavy fire. Team redeployed.
Incoming!
The recon team has cleared the approach to the building. The smoke screen has developed, and I move my teams forward to rush the enemy position.
Team redeployed.
We're losing a lot of men!
under heavy fire. Target neutralized.
Hand-to-hand combat follows, and I secure the location.
Team redeployed.
In my planning, I'd been concerned about enemy squads appearing out of the hedgerows to the right of the road, and it appears my concern was justified. An enemy Schutzen squad suddenly appears at the crossroads moving towards the barn.
Team redeployed.
They secure the location, but it is too late. I eliminate an MG42 squad, and all remaining resistance collapses. The battle ended because the Germans were routed from the map. The Allies gained control of the area and will advance. The landing zone has been reclaimed by the Allies. I suffered 20 KIA and inflicted 21 KIA on the enemy. Let's examine casualties on both sides. First, the Americans. Then, the Germans. I was right to seize the crossroads to prevent lateral movement across the road. However, I should have kept my machine gun squad in that location instead of moving it forward before I controlled the ground. Finally, most of my casualties were suffered in that first brutal close quarters battle, and I keep wondering what I could have done differently and better to win that firefight with fewer casualties. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.